Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of Love in Paradise, Season 2, Episode 7, The Bottom Line. Let's get into it, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties that wait. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. And this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. um, if I had to rate this episode of Love in Paradise, the Caribbean, Season 2, Episode 7, the bottom line, I would rate this episode a C minus. It almost should get a D, but we're going to rate it a C minus. Let me know down in the comments section what you would rate this episode of Love in Paradise. So let's start off with Daniel. You know, this is a sad state of affairs between the two of them. This girl has completely lost her mind. But, you know, when I was looking at this episode, it reminded me of her during the first season. The first season, when she was flying back and forth to Costa Rica to be with him, she was complaining about money then. And it seems like she has not resolved her money issues. When she went out to Costa Rica, remember, he hadn't even gotten his paperwork done that he was supposed to, get done and everything. So, and at that point she was complaining because he was living with his brother and, running up, the expenses and stuff like that. And, she basically was carrying the whole load. And now that she has him here in the United States and he is in between, getting his work permit and a green card, she is continuing on with the same behavior. Girlfriend is currently house poor. And because of that, she is moving Lottie Dottie and everybody into her household. And the reason why she is claiming that she is having these financial problems is because of Daniel. We see her with her new friend. Of course, her little friend moved in and he's paying $500 a month for rent. And so she believes that he is, or his existence means more to her than her husband's, because she feels like he is contributing to the household. So one of the things that, Daniel was concerned about was that she was going to, be drinking and all that kind of stuff. Well, he wasn't far off. This is exactly what she is doing. She is ignoring her husband and kissing her roommate's butt. And the thing about it is, people only do what you allow them to do. But as a roommate, moving into the household who is going through a split with his husband, yeah, bitch, I'm talking about you. it seems like he would respect her home more. He is basically trying to turn this into a frat or a sorority home. And this is not what this is. You would think that her friend would have more respect for her husband, for her marriage, and for her household than to be carrying on like this. And, I noticed, and the reason why I say that is because I noticed that when Daniel came into the room and began to assert his authority, okay, or at least the authority that he thought he had, he was giving him the side eye. And so I think that, some people, when they are not happy, they want everybody else to be unhappy as well. And this seems like he is that type of person. He's not happy in his relationship, so he don't give a damn about her relationship. She's the one that has to care about her relationship. And it's obvious that she just does not give a damn or have any respect for her husband. So, of course, the two of them are drinking. They go into the cabinet to pull out some cat treats, and it all spreads all over the place. And instead of one of those two drunkards, okay, picking it up, she waits for Daniel to come into the kitchen to criticize him and to make it, to blame him that this mess is on the floor, not taking responsibility for herself, for her actions, or anything. Like, she is just really treating him like he's nothing. So we see him, go to play softball. He is on a league. And he says that, basically this is like the only outlet he has, because when he went into the kitchen to tell her to come into the room to spend time with him, prior to that, he had called his brother on the phone. And he was having a conversation with his brother, and his brother was saying, we just came back from swimming, yada, yada, yada. It is his intention to bring his brother to the United States once he is working and gets his green card. And I think that this is something that she kind of agreed with. I think she kind of knew that this was going to happen. But anyway, he goes and he has a conversation with his brother. He's keeping it very high level, but he's, feeling lonely and just sharing a little bit. And so, the brother asked him, do you think that I'm going to be, able to come over there to the United States? And he was like, not yet. I'm sitting up here and I have no earrings on, y'all. I've got to put my earrings on. I totally forgot. I was so anxious to get to y'all. So let me put that on while I'm on here, running my mouth. Okay, this is a get ready with me, I guess. So anyway, he hung up with his brother. We see him go into the kitchen and tell her, to come into the room and everything. And she's, fussing and all of that kind of stuff. But eventually she throws her drunken head up in the air, and, she goes into the room, and he begins to, try to have a conversation with her about, her drinking. This is what he expected of her. And she just goes ballistic. She starts talking about all these things that she has to pay for and all that. And he was like, you knew this from the beginning. You knew that this was something that you were going to have to do. You knew I wasn't going to be able to work. You knew I wasn't going to be able to assist you with anything. You knew I had no finances when I was in Costa Rica. You knew I had no finances here. And she is just ready to treat him, like complete and total trash. And I just was like, wow. And he told her, this marriage is not going to work if we're going to continue, if this is going to continue. So I think that when we all see, on Starcasm or any of those other blog sites that they're divorced, we're not going to be shocked about it. Okay. So anyway, he goes to the softball field. He said that he was going to be playing baseball in Venezuela. I believe it was. Yeah, in Venezuela. But he said that he was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and that he was on a motorcycle, and they tried to stop him and they didn't stop, or something like that. And he ended up getting shot. And so that blew his chances of being able to play professional ball. And then he has an opportunity to talk to some other people, some other gentlemen who are on the team about, his relationship. and the things that were happening with him. And, they as older men, they begin to tell them about, their relationship and to give him advice about his. And one of the guys said, a new broom sweeps very well, right? So basically he was saying that, you get a new broom and it sweeps very well and it picks everything up, but over time that broom does not function the way that it did before, and so it's leaving a whole lot of mess still on the floor. I thought that was a really good analysis, or an example or a parable, if you will, of relationships. Sometimes it does, you bring it home and it's the vacuum cleaner is sucking everything up and everything looks clean and sparkly, but then after a while, when it starts catching debris, or you got to change the filter on it, that vacuum isn't so appealing anymore. But the other guy was telling him that he was married to a woman as well, and the relationship did not work out well. And so, Daniel's going to have to, make some adjustments. They, are suggesting to him that, he really has that conversation, do what he needs to do in order to maintain the relationship. But I think that the relationship is a dud. I think it was a dud from the beginning. Originally, I thought that he had just came to America, to get a green card in season 1, but we now see that he is, he really seriously does have some serious love for this girl, and he is at least trying to, work on a relationship, at least in my opinion. The next couple that I want to talk about is Valentine and Carlos. God dang it. Excuse me, y'all. We want to talk about is Valentine and Carlos. The two of them are, they had a little rough time a couple of days ago, right? And they sat down and they discussed it. They are on another side of the island and they are having a great time. They're canoeing, and of course, Carlos isn't helping. But Valentine said, "Did you see my man with his shirt off? My man is just hot and sexy." The two of them are basically still going through the same thing as far as, bringing a third party into this relationship, because the two of them, are cake toppers. Let me just say it like that, because YouTube gets so funny about stuff, and I'm not saying that to degrade or to demean anybody, but if I say that, they be flagging all. So, and they're looking for someone to, come in and, Valentine is the one that's really introducing this, and Carlos is still not really on board with it. The two of them make a decision that they're going to stay together in this relationship, and they're going to revisit bringing in a third party 3 years from now. And Valentine is saying that if Carlos does not bring in that new individual within the 3 years, then it may totally affect their relationship. Yeah, okay. That's if the relationship survives 3 years. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next couple. So the next couple that I want to talk about is Sherlon and Aryan. So of course, Aryan. So of course her mama is there. And we get an opportunity to meet Sherlon's mom. Sherlon's mom currently lives in the United States. And she flew to Jamaica in order to meet the baby and to meet Aryan and her mom. Now, one of the questions that I asked myself is, if his mother lives in the United States, why weren't they able to make a connection between the two of them earlier? I'm wondering whether or not this is something that just wasn't written in, because I noticed that when Aryan and her mother walked up on Sherlon and his mom, they didn't even get up and hug her. They, gave her the right hand of fellowship. They were shaking hands across the table from each other. And I felt some kind of way about it. I felt like, when you meet somebody for the first time, especially when it's the grandmama, of your baby, your only baby, your first baby, that it seems like there would have been some kind of embrace, but it seems like they came in the way that they walked in my opinion, was like they had the upper hand in this whole thing. And just because you have the baby and all that kind of stuff doesn't mean that you have the upper hand. It doesn't mean that you use it and use it as a tool in order to get someone to love you and to do right by you. Sherlon has been extremely open, and this is just me, okay? This is just me. Y'all can fuss and say whatever y'all want to say down in the comment section, right? Just be respectful. But in my opinion, Sherlon has been extremely honest, okay, about where he is with her now. Now, he did apologize and admit that he led her on. He said that he led her on, and he, wanted to say, he said all of the I love yous and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that y'all been wanting to come out for a long time. Sherlon said that he apologized and said that he led her on. And, he said what he said to her because, he wanted to get the good goods. Well, that's what a lot of men do. And there's something in her that's broken, that you meet somebody for the first time, you have a couple of one night stands with this person, or 2-night or 3-night stands, and you believe that they love you. Now, there are some people who meet each other one day and get married the next. But that's not the norm. What is broken or lost in her that she believes that meeting this man on an island on vacation, that he's being honest and truthful and that he loves her? He said, you got pregnant so fast that it just changed the whole dynamics of the relationship. Now, this is what Sherlon said. And she's sitting there trying to hold this man to a wish and a dream. Now, I understand that it's every woman's, or some women, many women, let me say it like that, their desire is to have a family. That's your desire going in. Okay? But it's not possible for you to do this with a vacation, a vacation bay. She says, I wouldn't even be in this position if you hadn't told me that you love me. But boo, how many other men have told you that they loved you when they did not? They just wanted to get in the drawers, in the panties, in the good. They wanted to take a couple of little things out your pocketbook. This is not your first rodeo at this, I'm sure. So why would you take a vacay and try to turn a vacay into a husband? It very rarely works for a woman to have a child and be able to convince a man to no longer be who he has been for 40 some plus years. It's unreasonable for his mother to think that, or her mom. Now, her mom said, you have to be able to talk to her and help her emotionally. It's not enough for him to call and talk and check on the baby and not pay her any attention. So in that area, he does need to be more sensitive. I agree. You need that, some women need that emotional support from the baby daddy. But seriously, how many of you really can get that from someone who's in another country? I think her expectations of Sherlon are unreasonable. And the minute he would have told me that he was messing with other women, I wouldn't have wanted them anymore. But she's saying we need to fight to have our baby have both parents. But then that means that he has to compromise or compromise in order to have that done, because either he's going to come over on a visitor's visa or he's going to have to do the K1 visa, and he's not interested in marrying her. The three of these women sit there and put so much pressure on Sherlon that he says, okay, I'm going to try to get myself together. But he went back and used a little excuse and said the reason that he's a horada is because he was in a relationship with a girl in the 10th grade, like 30 years ago. And this girl, he was in love with this girl in the 10th grade and found out that she was cheating on him, and it broke his heart. And this is the excuse that he used to say that, this is why I'm a horada. This is why, I don't trust women, etc., etc. And I'm saying, Sherlon, you ain't even got to lie, Craig. You don't have to lie, Craig. You can tell the truth. And no matter how much that truth may hurt, it's the truth, and it's what you can live with. It's the truth assists you, and it helps you to sleep at night. And when you get up in the morning, you okay with you. You was doing good by, trying to be, real. His mother was like, you have to support her emotionally. But at some point, if you're not attracted to her and you don't see this going anywhere, this is for a male or for a female, then you got to cut it off. You have to cut the sympathy and the empathy and all of that stuff. You got to cut it off and now make it a transactional relationship. I know that sounds harsh. I know y'all like, Auntie, what the hell are you talking about? But honey, I done been there and done that. When I'm done and I don't want to be with you anymore, it's about the two of us co-parenting, but it ain't about me and you being together. If I don't want you no more, boo, I don't want you no more. It just is what it is. And I'm not going to cater to your needs. I'm not going to cater to your emotions. I'm not going to cater to you like I'm your woman, because I am no longer your woman. So I'm not going to cater to you that way. We have a transactional relationship. Our baby. Our baby. And I'm just keeping it 100, straight up 100. Been there, done that. It's transactional. When you want to see the baby, you can see the baby. But you can't come over here and sit on my sofa and kick the bobo with me. We ain't going on no date to see the baby. You ain't coming up in between. You're not doing any of that. This is transactional. We're co-parenting. We're not in a relationship. And that you can call me immature. You can say, Auntie, you need to grow up. You can say whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, I to thine own self be true. If I don't bunk with you no more, I don't bunk with you no more, and I'm not leading you on. And this is the problem that Sherlon, he did what he did to lead her on, and now he can't get the girl, won't let go. She's sitting across at the table looking all self-righteous and all of that kind of stuff, but you don't even feel bad that you got your mama coming out of retirement to work. The mama's like, she can't take care of this baby by herself. Well, guess what, mama? She may not even be able to get her a man that's going to help her take care of her baby. That's an assumption that she can move on to another guy who's going to be able to welcome both her and her kids. That's an assumption. It happens for some women, and for some women it don't. To put that pressure on that man because of a baby ain't never held no couple together like that. A baby has never done that for two people or for one person who's just not in love. He's not attracted to her. He likes the lifestyle that he lived. Mama, thank you for flying, from the United States, both of y'all. But guess what? And then the mother, like, if Sherlon, we're going to hold Sherlon, to this agreement or whatever. But Sherlon is already saying what he has to say out of his mouth, but y'all don't hear him. Y'all don't hear him. Thank you, Kendall, for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, boo. The man is sitting up here in y'all faces and being honest as hell. And ain't nobody hearing him because all they doing is seeing her tears. Even his mother sat at the table and became emotional. Mama, you could go ahead on and be emotional. But guess what? Let your son be honest. If he's not in this relationship with her, he's just not. And you cannot force this on somebody. I resent the fact that that's what they're doing. Let Sherlon be a hoe. If he want to be a hoe, he be a hoe. He does have to be a father. He absolutely has to be a father. And that's the expectation, that he is a father and that he's a father to her. That's the expectation, that he be a father to his son. But let me tell you something. This started off on the wrong foot. It started off on the wrong foot. You got pregnant by vacation babe. And now you want to make him a husband. And it just really, boo, it's just not going to happen for you, Captain. The last couple that I want to talk about is Gabby, Abby, and Roland. So basically, Roland has, is meeting with what's the child's name? Abby down at the beach. Abby is telling the producers, thank you so much, LCJ, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, Bridget. Bridget said, good luck with that. Well, welcome, Emily. She said, oh, heck yes, I've never caught one of Auntie's live. Welcome, Emily W., to your first live chat. Everybody, welcome, Emily. Welcome, boo. Abby is sitting there telling the cast and crew, the grip man, the microphone man, the guy that holds the umbrella over top of her head so she don't get sunburned and they can catch the best of the light, that she told Gabby the truth. The bottom line is Roland did. And now Roland had got her down on the beach and he's still checking her ass. Excuse me, because when Roland and his girlfriend or his wife or fiance or whoever the hell the woman is went back up to that hotel room, they started talking. Because she had told Gabby that Frankie was going to fly her over and she was going to fly Gabby over. And Roland said, oh, hell to the no. That ain't the damn truth. The truth is, he never mentioned Gabby's ass. So he gets her down on the beach to confront her ass about the lie. Because he said, what you not going to do is put me in no cotton freaking lie with you and Frankie and Gabby and Abby and every goddamn body else. So she comes down there smiling and everything. And let me tell you something. Abby ain't had no feelings for Frankie because every time we see Abby, it's transactional, bitch. She sat there and cried about Frankie not being there. She didn't care nothing about Frankie. She just wanted to get to the U.S. When she sat down with him and talked about Frankie, no emotions whatsoever. It was more emotions in the ocean than she had in her face and in her body. She don't give a damn about Frankie. She's just mad that her plan to come to the United States got canceled. Because she didn't give a damn about Frankie. I haven't seen her cry one tear. Now, she's cried the tear about Gabby finding out, but crying the tear about Frankie not coming? Gabby had more emotions about Frankie not coming than Abby ever has. That's just my opinion. So she's sitting down there and talking to him about Frankie, and he like, look, homegirl, you said that you was going to bring Gabby over, and she was like, yeah, that was the plan. Frankie had said that like 25 years ago, when he was here. He said, yeah, because he ain't say about bringing her over there. And as a matter of fact, he can bring you over on the K1, but he can't bring her a whole nother woman over. So basically, he was letting her know, I know you telling a lie. Because it's impossible for him to be able to do that. It would be years. She had no intention on being with Frankie. And dude was like, I ain't mean to bust the stuff out like that. I don't want to be in the middle of this, boo, but I wanted to let y'all know, why Frankie didn't come. But Frankie had no intention of ever being with Gabby. She said that Gabby, when they went back to the hotel, Gabby went and got her own room. She says that, it was the worst night of her life, and Gabby said the same. They got back together and they began to talk about it, and Abby was still trying to play that fucking game, indicating that, she was doing this for the both of them. And Gabby was like, well, if I was part of the plan, we've been together for 10 years. Why wouldn't you trust me with that plan? That's because the plan it didn't include your ass. It didn't include you at all, mama. And so Gabby doesn't want to be without Abby. Okay. But she don't trust her no more. Abby doesn't want Gabby to leave her. But you did some slick. And Gabby says she feels stupid because she should have known. There should have been red flags and signs. And there were. Were her having these conversations with Frankie like that? Those were the signs. But Gabrielle trusted her. She said, you would rather put your trust in a man that you knew for 5 days than in me, someone you have been in a relationship with for 10 years. Girlfriend knew exactly what she was doing it, how she was doing it, and she absolutely, in my opinion, was going to come over here and leave Gabrielle high and motherfucking dry. Point blank, period. It just, this episode was, we didn't get a chance to, did we get a chance to see them? No, they didn't come on the screen. I don't remember seeing, what's the child's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, Johan. I didn't remember seeing them. If I did, it was so boring, I done forgot about it, okay? But I don't remember seeing them at all. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and hitting that like button and for watching this Love in Paradise. Love in Paradise is on Discovery Plus, and I've purchased it so that you don't have to. And I know that a lot of people are not viewing it, but I so want to thank every one of you all who have taken the time to listen to a review to a show that you have never seen before. I really, really, really thought about that. And I was like, I really want to say thank you so much for being willing to do that. Now, starting this Sunday, okay, July 24th, we're going to be doing 90 Day Fiancé, the UK. That is also a show that is only on Discovery Plus. I will try my best. I'm going to try to get my pictures and all of that stuff together so that you all will be able to see the cast again. And we're going to be reviewing that. I'm not sure how many episodes that's going to be, but it is 90 Day Fiancé UK. And I'm really interested in it. I've already done a video about 90 Day, the cast, and I will link that video to this video so that you can look at it and be ready. That is going to start on Sunday, July the 24th, y'all. So I'm really, really excited about doing that. Thank you to everybody who sent the Cash App. Thank you to my moderator who always keeps the chat nice and safe so that everyone can have a great time. Welcome to all of the people who are here for the very first time, who have been in the chat. I know some people are like really excited about that, because the conversations be hot sometimes up in the chat, don't it, y'all? It be a little hot, okay? Especially what I'm talking about. So I love you all to pieces. Thank you all again so much for being here. Have a great night and be safe. Love y'all.